the beauty of everything was that back then we heard a UK record and loved it as much as we loved the Public Enemy record or an LL Cool J. We didn't have this segregation thing. And I remember
that came later.
That came later, and I'll tell you when it came, right? So Dom and Ben at Groove Records, I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember when I gave you my records? Yeah, and I said, here's the next batch of records. And then I went away and I came back and I went to look at how many it sold and I couldn't see my record in the shelves. This is so important. And I said, yo, where's the records? Have you sold out? Like, I can't see it. And he goes, no, the UK hip hop is there, right?
Okay.
And I went, bro, what are you doing?
So that's like a moment
that was a moment.
Got separated.
When was this?
My era, it was...
This was probably 92 or end of 91 or something.
Yeah,
91. I went up to them and I said, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's a mistake. Don't separate it.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I saw the separation, and they separated it. So I said, bro, you know what? I don't agree with this. So here's what I'm going to do. I took all my Blade records and I went and put it behind Big Daddy Kane. Yeah.
Alphabetical order.
His marquee.
Yeah.
Behind his marquee and Big Daddy Kane.
Where
And I put in the order. And I said, that's where it needs to be. Now, whether they moved it back or whatever was a different thing. I don't know if they did move it back or not. But that's when I saw the first thing and I thought, we're screwed. That segregation is going to fuck us up.
That's crazy, because when I came up buying records, that's my first UK hip hop. I was telling Hunt that on the way here, I used to listen to Westwood. Much as you don't get credit, he used to play 15 minutes of UK hip hop, and I would listen, and then I'd go in, Deal Real, Mr. Bongos, and you're right, but this is a late era. It had it separate. Here was the UK hip hop section over here.
But I'm telling you, the first time was a
and
Groove
first time
Records,
you saw it,
first time.
and they said
They just done it like that
again.
week.
And it's not like that anymore. I mean, we don't have physical things in the same, but now, like, we've come so far forward, I guess, that UK rappers, whatever genre we want to label it as, and US rappers are treated on the same platform.
Well, all I know is this. If I heard Hijack, or if I heard Mellow, or if I heard Demon Boys, or Cookie Crew, if I liked the record, I didn't go, oh, they're UK. Yeah, I just went, they're dope.
Okay, Cookie Crew, they were the girls, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cookie Crew, yeah.
So I would just go like, they're dope. And you know what? They would end up on the mixed, like, you know, you do your own cassettes and whatever, and because back then it was cassettes, Walkmans and stuff. When you're doing your recordings and you're building your cassettes and whatever, those UK acts would end up on the same cassettes as some of the American acts.
But that stopped happening. Even HMV, even when I had my album out, there was HMV. There was it was
separate.
a little UK
little section over there.
Section over there,
which nobody really looks at
on
their headphones.
So what I'm saying is, somewhere along the timeline, history changed because of certain things.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, without being rude, you can't really talk on everything if you don't know the history before.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. But the crazy thing is what you're saying. You just took it somewhere completely different, because we wouldn't even be asking this question. What's the golden era of UK hip hop? Maybe we're already separated in the question.
If you just said UK hip hop, then I'll just be quiet.
No, but I mean,
I don't know that far back.
we got a, like, I know we've got the hip hop and rap thing. We can get into that, yeah. But when I say, I'm gonna say today UK hip hop or UK rap a bit interchangeably. You know what I'm saying? Because he's talking about American rap.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about the comparison of UK
I'm talking about
worldwide.
I'm talking about hip hop.
Hip hop,
like you know, I would listen to K Solo Spellbound because I SPELL very. And
UK
in the
rap,
same
that's
breath,
another division.
Yeah, and in the same breath, I'd be listening to Hard Noise. You know, it's like Witness to Strength. There's that commence length by length, and there was no separation. They were as good, if not. Hard Noise was even better than all of them. Lot. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying your golden era. Now that you've said
so that was the first one.
Now you've said your artists. That puts it.
And there was loads
more. That gives
more.
it a context for me.
There was loads more.
I'm sure you can give more if you want, but you've given some key artists that make sense. You've given some key artists. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I agree.
I mean, look at Merlin. He had chart success in that time as well.
Yeah.
You know, he had MC Merlin, and I was partners with Merlin, so I was seeing all of this firsthand.
So what's your other golden era then?
I'm not saying golden era because I was involved, because there was times when I was involved and it wasn't a golden era.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But the other golden era for me was between sort of 98, when you started seeing things bubbling again, when everything was kind of dead for a while. Because I remember just thinking in 93, it's like, wow, the only people that put out albums is me, Cash 22, and Gunshot. Where's everybody else gone? Everyone's disappeared, you know? So it was kind of like, you know, everything vanished. And then it started bubbling again. Funny enough, the way it started bubbling was on a street level, the same way it did 10 years before, 15 years before. It was bubbling on the street before the records started coming out and people, you understand? So you had all the things going on with the Muslims and whatever, like, you know, Task Force were doing, and a little bit later you had all the WKDs and whatever. So that was, for me, that was the next golden era, right? Because what happened is you saw Mark B and Blade getting the charts. You saw Black Twang making big moves. Then you had Roots Maneuver.
So what year are we going up to? You said 98.
I would say up to the point 2004, 2005, just after
So
Skinny.
to the end of. So
Yeah.
you're saying the golden era is that
Yeah.
6, 7 years before Hunt's era.
Right. And the reason why I say that is
That's
because,
my era, isn't it?
you know why I think that was a brilliant time? It's because I was touring everywhere and I was seeing how it was bringing people together. What we were doing, what Skinny Man was doing, what Task Force were doing, what Black Twang was doing, what Roots Maneuver was doing, you know, Rodney P. It was bringing everybody together. It was an important time. And then the vibe kind of changed. The vibe changed. And like I said, people started taking the whole thing so serious that they took their eyes off the ball. And that's when Grime came in and changed everything for them.
Do we look at Grime as being any part of this conversation? Or not?
No, because it was running. To me, it was running simultaneously.
So, Grime started about 2002.
You have to remember, like,
Grime is why I got
albums.
into my UK rap.
I think 2006, Joe Buddha and Mr. Jam, they did an event in Nottingham where there was me, Kalashnikov, there was Kano, there was a whole bunch of other Grime MCs that were on the up. And it's beautiful to see what they did. And we were all on the same stage. I've got pictures, I've got footage, blah, 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 right? And Trevor Nelson was called in to do the promo for it, you know? So for then, Trevor Nelson, I only saw this promo clip for the first time about 2 years ago, and I was like, yo, Joe Buddha, you know, where did you find that? You know? And all I remember is he was talking about, and we got Kano, and we got this guy, and we got Kalashnikov, and we got Blade. And I'm like, wow, you know, this is crazy. So to me, that was the beginning of the end. Like it went to, I would say probably 2006.
That's when my album coming out. So you're saying I ruined it?
Yeah, I think it was all down to you, bro. Yeah, you fucked everything up. So guys, if you ever want to wonder why hip hop went all wrong in the UK, and you know what, I don't even know if it went wrong. It just changed.
I think like this is it's a bigger, wider debate, right? So I'm just trying to look a date up here because I want to suggest my golden era as well at some point. Okay, I've got it. But I think there's a lot of technology things that come into this. Like, and the UK hip hop scene that was around what Blade is explaining, I could say that's my golden era, that's my era. Yeah, and I think a lot of people call that the golden era because Mud Family, Task Force especially, Skinny Clash, like those things came out and the impact was bigger than...
It was nuts.
For people who didn't know the era you spoke about before, and they've only seen this bit where things might have dipped a bit and there wasn't any big albums coming out. Like if you're a teenager them times, you're like, there's no UK hip hop, which maybe, I guess I might fall into that a bit. Then it's like, whoa, this is suddenly all this stuff's happened and it's crazy, right? But I don't know, because you touched on that kind of thing dying and it's like, and then the Grime thing coming up. And there's all this other divide going on and some of it I think does fall into even technology and like those.
Well, some people embraced technology,
and that UK hip hop scene didn't. They didn't embrace.
They didn't.
iTunes or whatever, or YouTube that much.
They didn't.
My album came out 2006. Yeah, YouTube was around, but even my label and that they didn't really
didn't
push.
want to use it.
They were pushing Channel U. They were like, okay, Channel U. They didn't really think, oh, we've got this thing over here where we can upload. Like if you look at even the quality of those videos are uploading, it's ridiculous. So I don't know. It's like I could almost go
YouTube's open
because your
doors.
era ended when his era started. It could all just be one long era.